Okay folks, here we go. We're all set for Friday night 9-ball. And we've got a pretty good turnout. I think we certainly had 15 at the last check. Let's have a quick look. If we can find the tournament thing, wait a minute. And the bracket's up. And we have 16 in. So we've got Houdini playing DJ Redo in the first round. Mr. Bill playing Wink at Me. That'll be a good match. Tin against WizKid. Larry playing Censored. Popman. Oh no, we've got 15 in. Popman has got a bye. And Baker Maker is playing Preacher. Tommy U is playing Capo. Wizard Cheat against Bedhead. Now the bracket needs to be refreshed because the handicaps aren't in yet. Just a second. Let's see what happens. We should get an update in a second or two. My voice is beginning to go already. Right. Let's have another look at the bracket. No, it's still not showing the handicap. That's strange. Right, let's have another look. Oh no, there we go, it's up now. Right. So I think what we'll do is we'll go in and see Bill against Wink at Me. That should be a fairly evenly matched match. Right, Mr. Bill's in. Yeah, these two players they've got a fair rating between the two. Player 2 is Wink at Me. He's getting 8-ball. They're lagging off for break. And hang on a sec. I'll just do my little plug in the lobby. Right, so let's get down to business, do my little check. My little doodle, check it's working. Right, we're all set to go. So Wink at Me has a good chance here to win the first rack. Well, he's made a bit of a hash of that, but he's okay. Managed to nudge the 9 out the way. And he should be out here, barring an absolute disaster. Now, he might have a slight problem here. He's gone a bit too far. And that 6 is very thin. So he's now just trusting to luck here, and he's got it. Ended up being fairly straightforward run out. So for anybody who hasn't seen this before, Friday night 9-ball is a handicap tournament. It's double elimination. We're playing money ball handicap as opposed to rack handicap. We're also playing with spot money. Any money balls potted in the break, if they're your own, they're respotted. If they're your opponent's, they'll stay down, apart from the 9-ball, which went down that time. It gets respotted. And Wink at Me remains at the table. Well, a good cut in the 1, but no real chance of getting on the 2 unless you get a good bounce. Well, he's not hanging about. Had a blast at the bank. He's going to have to pull something else out here. Nothing on the 3 ball. And here's Bill's chance. And Bill has got to be thinking about running out here. Well, that was a bit fortunate. He's perfect angle to drop over behind the 5 as well. As long as he gets past that 8 ball, he's okay. And he's a bit straight. He's just going to have to squeeze this a bit to get this cue ball out. And he's gone too far. Well, this is a tester. Stream quality looks good. So, Bill throwing away his chance here, getting himself 2 square in the 6 ball. And Wink at Me looks as if he's going to take an early 2-rack lead here. Well, that's one way to take care of the last 2 balls. Now, just a reminder as well that next week's Friday night 9 ball, we'll be doing the full tournament. I've got the week off. Hopefully, if there's a 9 ball Scottish doubles on Monday, I'll be playing in it if I can find a partner. Well, Bill has very quickly taken care of that 3rd rack. In goes the 9. That's exactly what he needed, just to stem that flow. 2 ball goes in, 3 ball goes into the left middle, and he's got a shot in the 1. Now, I don't know whether he can avoid hitting that 7 ball. He needs to be a bit careful here, and he's managed to get away with it. Got the thin edge of the 7. Well, now he's prime position just to draw back for this 6 ball, and then the 7 into the left middle or down the rail, wherever he finishes. I would suggest the 7 into the middle would be the easier shot to get onto the 8. Yeah, the stream does look pretty good. Happy with that at the moment. So Bill, after having gone 2-0 down, has got himself back on the rails. Quick response for that 9 ball in the 3rd rack, and a run out here in the 4th rack. No joy, and worst of all, Bill's left Wink at Me with a shot in the 1, and he can go across the table twice. Well, he's made a bit of an overcut in that 1 ball. I think he's maybe rushing it a wee bit. I just get that feeling he's eager, and you don't want to get too eager and get carried away. So again, Bill has an open table. All these balls are sitting pretty, and shouldn't be any reason why he can't run this rack. The only bit of travelling he's going to have to do is from the 4 back up to the 5, and from the 5 back up to the 6, so that's where it could go wrong. And he's finished a bit straight in this. If he gets into this too much, he could draw right back into this corner pocket. Well, he's played it just below the equator, half a tip below, and a firm shot gives you that little draw. And it's gone wrong. He didn't really go through the shot there. So now he's going to have to try and dig one out. And it's going to be a thin cut in the 6. And this looks good. Just a bit beyond the square to make it a, well, sort of 70-30 shot this. Very easy to hang them up, and he was well away with that one. So Bill just getting out of shape in the 6, and in turn when that starts happening, you start getting out of shape in the next ball. And I think he's thrown away his chance there. Mind you, where's this cue ball going? It's okay. And also just a reminder to anybody who might be watching that, oh dear, what's happened here? Oh, he only needs the 8 ball, I keep forgetting of the handicap. A reminder that this stream will go until 10:30, no matter what stage the tourney's at. It's a normal working day tomorrow for me again, but that won't be the case next week. So, wink at me, back into the lead. And it could be a 3-9 combo here if he could actually see the 3, which he can't. He could probably still try a jump shot here. Could be a jump shot 3-9 combo. That'd be a good one. No, 3 going to go in. Well, he'll take that. And he's going to have to take a 6-9 combo. That's dead set, I think. That is pretty much... Is it? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, that's dead set to the pocket. That's 6 and 9. So he needs to get into that top half of the table as we look. And that's the shot. And this has got to go in 100 times out of 100. You just play a nice gentle push, and all of a sudden we're back to 3-all. I think the 3 ball, no it wasn't, it was the 8, sorry, the 7's gone in. Now he doesn't want to get into this too much. He could come off the rail and hook himself behind the 6 here. And he's done it. That double kiss in the 9 has done it. So he's lining up the jump. And that needs to keep running. Once again, he's left with a similar shot he had in that 6 ball in the other rack there, and well, this time he's not going to get there with that one. I would have thought he would have ran round the table there. Plenty of room to get back onto that 5. So, wink at me. Should be back in the lead here. Looks fairly straightforward. The 8 ball, the 3 ball, the 2 ball have all gone, but unfortunately he's got no shot in the 1. You can see the edge of that, I think, so he could run up behind the... Let's have a look. Oh yeah, that's... Well, I think... I don't know, he can't see it. Can't see it enough. Just looking for the push. Now, if he just plays this up to the top end of the table, Bill's got a fairly easy safety here. If he can just feather this 1 and spin the cue ball behind that 4 and 6. That's what he's trying. And I think he's got there. That's the other thing we talk about when we see players playing push-outs. You've got to play a sensible push-out. And, you know, if you just play it to an open part of the table and you don't leave any sort of problem, then your opponent can do that to you. He can just hook you, or he can put you back in if he doesn't like the shot. Well, this time it's Bill's chance, and his first problem is getting onto that 4. And he's going to have to be really accurate with his position here to get that cut in the 4. And he's just, I think he's just bounced enough. No, that's very thin. It's going to have to go in off the jaw, I think. Yeah, did. Now, does that 9 go past the 5? Or the 5 go past the 9, I should say. Yes, it does. Got to be a good one. He's went for some sort of bank. Excuse me. So it's going to be a 2-rack gap here, I would assume so. And 5-3 to wink at me, breaking off in rack number 9. 8 ball goes in again. Well, there's the danger ball straight away. There we are. 9 ball waiting to get knocked in. Well, it looks odds on it could be a 5-9 combo. Now that's a bit tricky. He's got to also get the angle on this 4 so he can get up for the 9. And that's why he's missed it. He got himself perfect in the 4. Well, Bill's going to have the same problem. He also has got himself perfect. Just drop onto that right side rail. Oh, he's just running it down. Is he going too far? Well, he's just got to actually aim the 5 ball at that jaw, and he'll knock the 9 in. So, Bill needed that one. It was always going to be a 5-9 combo. And what's more, he needs a ball in the break, and he's not got it. But I think he's okay. Well, there's good cover down this bottom end of the table here. If he can get that 1 thin, but it doesn't look that he's trying that. Got a double kiss there. Well, this time, surely Bill will be looking for the cover behind the 7 ball and the 8 and the 6. Nope, he's went the other way. Tried to billiard the 9 in. Well, we're back to square one here. Just like the last rack. Whoever gets that 1 ball and can get on the 2, we're going to have a quick rack. Oh dear, Bill. Well, you don't want to be doing too many more of them. So, wink at me is going to open up the 2-rack gap. But this time, he only needs one more. Right, Bill, you got to start motoring now. You got all the balls there sitting for you. And he's got the angle on the 3. He needs to stun up the table. He doesn't want to run into that 6 and 9. And here's the crucial one. Plenty of room to get onto the 5 either side of the table, whatever way he wants to go, but he needs to be sure he goes right down the right hand side and avoids blocking himself here. And he's done that, and what's more, he's got a nice angle. Just roll the 5 in, he'll be on the 6. Now, can he avoid the 9? Let's see what he does. Well, he's definitely going to avoid the 9 because he's got the angle the other way. Another little tester into the middle. So, Bill saved one of his lives. And nothing doing for Bill again. Well, it's looking like a 3-4 combo at the bottom end of the table. But it looks as if Wink at Me is going to have to play the cue ball to about there. Well, I don't know what he tried there, but he got that wrong. He's going to have to play either the billiard onto the 4 or bank the 3. And that's a nice weight. That's took the bank very well. This time, got to get to about there. I think that'll do it. And the other thing about that is the 8 ball's going to hold the 6. Hold the cue ball for the 6 anyway. And this match should be over. Bill is looking very likely he's moving across the 1 loss side. And Wink at Me only needed the 8 ball, and he wins the match by 7 racks to 5, so that was a quick one. First result that's come through, so let's check on the bracket. And that will update in a second or two. Potman is already through at the second round because he has the bye. And we're waiting in this match, updating in here. We'll see WizKid. Well, we're going to have to dive into that match. Oh no, wait a minute, that's WizKid's playing tin. WizKid's up 6-2. I thought he was playing Larry there for a second. I thought it was 6-all. We've got Tony Sam playing Capo, and Capo's getting 5 and out. And he's 5-4 up against Tony Sam. Let's have a look at that. If we can get into the room. So 5 and out is a hefty handicap. It's the most you can get. Well, that bracket's not updated. It's 5 all. Tony missed the shot, got the jump, but missed the pot. And Capo having another blast. Well, as soon as this one ball goes, this rack should be over if Tony Sam gets it, because these balls again are all sitting in the open. Well, they were until that 9 went over towards the 6. That's now made it awkward. Tony's a wise old virtual pool player. And there's a result came through. WizKid has beaten Tin by 7 racks to 2. Capo jumps out of the snooker, and I think he's left Tony with a problem. Tony's a bit like me. He doesn't play an awful lot of jump shots, or he hasn't played an awful lot of virtual pool 4 to be an expert in the jump shots like some of these guys. And Tony's just trying to keep this one ball away from all the other balls, because Capo's going to have a blast to try and billiard something in. And there goes the 7. Is he going to scratch? Oh, well, he hasn't. And that's the worst thing about these multiple money balls. Players like Capo, I'm afraid it might choke you a bit when you're sitting actually in the game to see them having a smack at something just to move balls and then one goes in. But that's the way it is with the handicap. And there's a result through as well. Larry's beaten Censored 7 racks to 2. Meanwhile, Capo is leading 6-5 in the race to 7. Now there's a careless miss by Tony, and he's going to pay for it, I'm afraid. Capo is going to knock that 3 onto the 7, and it's match over. Got to watch those danger balls. So Capo wins the match by 7 racks to 5. So Tony is moving straight over to the one loss side. There's another one through. Wizard Cheat has been beaten by 7 racks to 3 by Bedhead. Yeah, it's hard to take, Tony, but that's what happens. Right, so this bracket is updating fairly readily. Now again, Capo is now going to play Bedhead, who's a good player, and he's been given 5 and out in that one as well. So these guys are going to have to work hard to beat that handicap. Right. So we've got Larry, who's also given 5 and out to WizKid in that match. And we've still got a couple of first round matches going, or one at least. No, there's another one. Baker Maker and Preacher are still playing. Baker Maker's up 4-2. Preacher's getting 7 and out. And Houdini is 5-1 down to DJ Redo. That's a scratch match. We'll go in and watch the rest of that one. So it's now 6-1 to DJ Redo. couple of balls will get in. Now, is that 1 in 9 set for this bottom pocket? He might actually cheat it if he looks at the angle. I think it's going too much to the rail though. Yeah, that's what he tried. That's a nice shot, nicely weighted. Now can he follow it up? He certainly needs to. He's on the end of a hammer in here, Houdini. Well, he's not going to do it finishing there on the 4. So this is a scratch match, 2 players evenly matched, no handicaps given. That's a good one on the 4 ball, under pressure. It's a good shot. Now that cue ball might run down onto the 8 ball and hold for the 7. Depends whether he can see that, and that's what he's done. And he's got plenty of room to go up and down the table for the 8, and he should be out here. No reason why he shouldn't be. Well, this is simple enough. Let's get the cue ball out into the table. Don't go too far. I think he's fine. Now Houdini is going to have to do the great escape act here if he's going to get through in this match. So he's now trailing 6-2. Well, we've got a right mess up in the top left hand corner, and one of the balls in that mess is a 2 ball. I don't know whether he can get enough of the cue ball to try and pot the 1 and draw into that bunch and try and move something. Well, he's didn't even play the pot, he just played to keep it safe. Now he should be in trouble in a second here. If Houdini plays this shot right, thin off that 1 and get the cue ball over by that bunch. Try and use them for cover. And that's a good one. He's not going to get out of that. But the problem's still there. The 2 ball's still tied up with those balls. So if Houdini gets the ball in hand, that's the first thing in his priority. Well, he's hit the 1. And he's really more or less got away with it. But Houdini can still get in behind that bunch with the cue ball if he plays this shot right again. Well, he's went for the cut. Well, there's no advantage in actually potting that 1 ball because he couldn't get in the 2 really. Now this time Houdini has a pot on the 1 and he's got an angle to get that cue ball over there and hit something. He can certainly do that. He just needs that bit of luck. I think he stunned that more than anything else. Needed a bit more draw into that. The chances are DJ Rido's going to be snookered on this 2 ball. Now this might change things, because if he's going to try and make a genuine hit in the 2, he can't get it. He can't get to it because of the 9 ball. So I'd be looking at tying something else up here. There's a danger of Houdini going for the 3 fouls, 3 foul and out shot here. I would smash into those balls and take the risk. Get them opened up, because you're going to be hooked behind him in a second or 2 if you don't, and that's the wisest shot he could have done. It looks crazy, but when you weigh up the situation, you were going to end up in a 2 foul situation anyway. because that's what he'd have done with ball in hand. So now that's forcing Houdini at 6 racks to 2 down to run out to win the rack. Oh dear, well, you can't surely blame the mouse for that, can he? So, DJ Redo back at the table sooner than they thought. I wish people wouldn't message me when I'm doing this. Right, DJ Redo on the 5 ball. Well, I don't know why. Oh, wait a minute. Right, hopefully it reads that. Anyway, I'm losing track of what's happening in this bloody match. We've got DJ Redo on the 8 ball. He just needs to punch this in. Has he got enough spin on it? Well, he's almost there. So this for the match. Well, in it goes, and DJ Redo wins by 7 racks to 2. So the first round is well and truly over now, I think. Let's have a look. Well, Baker, Maker and Preacher have clearly got a problem, but it's nothing I can have anything to do with. He needs to contact the super admin if he's here. And that result from Houdini and DJ Redo has just updated. Larry's currently up 2-1 against WizKid. And, well, that Baker Maker match needs looking at, so... Let's see if I can get into the room. Probably can't. I'm probably going to have to kill the game. Yeah, it looks like it. I shouldn't have done that, should I? Yeah, it's not going to let me in. Right, I'm going to have to do a quick kill in the game, and I'll be back in 2 seconds. Right, I won't be doing that again. Right, so we'll have a quick look at this bracket again. I'm going to have to reset that bracket thing, the refresh thing. Right, so DJ Redo playing Wink at Me, WizKid playing Larry. Larry's up 3-1. Popman's going to have a problem with his opponent because they're stuck. And Bedhead is playing Capo. Now, on the one loss side, we've got Bill playing Houdini. Houdini, who's got a weird number next to his name there. And Tin is playing Censored. And Censored is 2-0 up. And there's no handicap in that match. So this is a one-loss side match. It's a race to 4. Now these two players are evenly matched as well, so no handicap. And Tin looking to get himself on the board. You don't have much to play with in a short race to 4, that's one thing. So he's off and running. Hopefully Baker Maker and his partner, or his opponent I should say, get their room fixed. So Tin comes up dry. Now these two players, Tin is from, if I can get the bloody thing to work, he's from the Netherlands, and Censored is from Germany, so it's an all-European clash. Censored at the table. Now can he squeeze that 2 past the 3? No, apparently he couldn't. I don't know what he tried there. I think he actually tried to play the 2 and cut the 3 in, I presume. But either way, he's played a good safety. Now, if Tin gets this 2 right, he could actually bank that 4 in down the rail. It looks as if it's going more to the rail than the pocket, though. Yeah, way too much more to the rail. A good jump. That's the problem with the jump shot. You don't know where the other ball's going. So now he's hooked himself on the 2, and he can't get to the back cushion here. He's going to have to jump over the 7 and the 8 and the 6. Probably hit the back rail and kick into the 2. Needs a bit of luck. And that'll pretty much do. I mean, it's a very, very extreme thin cut, that 2 ball. But he's got a much better chance of playing a good safety here. Either way, he's going to be cutting that 2 ball towards that left-hand corner pocket, depending on the power he hits it at. Well, he's went for the cut and he actually overcut it. Well, it's a chance. It's an awkward first ball, this 2 ball. Well, that's what I thought. I didn't think you could hit that as thin as that. So here we go. This is a chance for Tin, but he's going to have to deal with that 6 and 8 ball. Now the angle's there on this 4 just to pot the 4 and let the cue ball run, because then you're coming out for the 5. And he's missed the pot into the middle and he's hit it too hard. Well, let's see what Censored does with this 6 ball situation. The angle's there to actually get the cue ball up to those balls. He could maybe nudge into them if he plays it right. And he's played it, but he's got too much English on it. Lots of inside English there. And actually played it too good. Well, that's certainly keeping him tight. Now, if Tin just hits the edge of this 6, he's just going to bring it out and leave Censored a pot here. Exactly like that. And what's more, he's left him a perfect angle to nudge the 7 and the 8. Not a clever shot. I think I would have looked for a better option than that one, I'm afraid. That's just opening the game up for your opponent. And look at this, the 8 ball's going in. And the 8 ball actually holds the cue ball from following it in. And he's going to have to run up and down the table. Well, he's actually hit that into the middle pocket jaw. Oh, well, he's not left anything, no. He's left a nasty cut into that left middle. But you feel Tin has to capitalise on this. If he can get away with this rack, that'll be a bonus. Still checking the stream, there's no buffering, it looks all good. Tin's now down to his extension. What's he trying? A bank? I don't know whether that 9's in the way. Oh, he's went for the cut. Oh dear, he's going to scratch. That's unlucky. That was extremely unlucky. And this is a gift for Censored. Ball in hand on the 9. And a 3-1 lead in a race to 4. Nothing doing, so unless Tin goes for the kick, he's going to have to play a good push out. It looks as if he's going to kick it. And that's finished not too bad, but he could be in trouble in a minute. Once again, Censored has a good angle. Send that 1 ball up the table, send a cue ball this way. Get in behind that 4 and 7, and that's not bad, but it's not tight, so Tin can easily jump this. And he's looking for a path to get to the 1, but I don't think there really is one, and he's trying to put a lot of right English hit behind that 9 ball, and he actually spun into the 9. And what's more, he's left a 1-9 combo for the match. But Censored isn't going for it. Now, in a tournament, you should be going for your 1-9 combo because you might live to regret it. Well, he's got a shot in the 3, but how does he deal with the 4 ball? So Tin still has a chance here. Well, he's got a chance to stick Censored in behind the 8, but he looks as if he's going for the bank. This is all or nothing. And it goes, but he's let the cue ball get away. He's going to have to play another good one here to get onto this 6. He needs to watch that scratch into the left middle as well. It looks as if is he going to... what's he doing? Well, it's going to have to be the reverse bank down into this bottom left hand corner pocket. If he doesn't get it, he can certainly go back up to that one. And he's got it, but he's got no shot in the 7 though. Now this will be a good shot to catch the edge of that 7 and get the cue ball in behind the 9. But he's got to do something. He can, if he can hit enough of the 7, he can just send the 7 that way, over there, and the cue ball over here. Got to get the pace of this right. But that's the safety. At worst, you're going to leave a bank. Well, he's decided to have a go at it, and you're really hitting and hoping there, I'm afraid. But he's left He's left censored in the worst position. Going to have to play over this 9 ball, I think. Let's have a look. He certainly is. So he's looking at the cut angle on this 7. Well, this is Tin's chance now. He can't throw this away. Just pot the 7 with a nice enough pace to get the cue ball out into the table. And he's overdone it. He's got the angle though to pot the 8 and come across for the 9. He has to be on the 9. He just has to get the 8. And he's hitting these a wee bit too hard. He's just got the ball running a bit too much. Oh dear. Well, that's his worst shot of the night. He's just teed up the 9. And censored is going to go through by 4 racks to 1 unless he scratches. Right, so that's the end of that match. And that's the end of Tin's tournament tonight. And we've also had a result through from the one-loss side, Houdini, against Bill. Bill has won by 4 racks to 1, so back to the bracket. And we'll see that Bill is now, sorry, not Bill, Larry's now 5-2 up against WizKid. And DJ Redo's 2-all against Wink at Me. And Bedhead, who is playing Capo, and Capo getting 5 and out. We'll have a look at what's happening here. No, not much is happening. I don't know where Capo's went. I'm going to have a drink while he gets back to the table. Well, nothing's happening in this, so I'm bored waiting. So, what else will we look at? There's nothing else happening on the one-loss side. There's players who are going to be waiting on opponents coming through. So, we will go in and have a look at this match between Wink at Me and DJ Redo. They are 2-all at the moment, and DJ Redo is getting a 6 ball. That's his extra money ball, and he's just about to pot it to go into the lead. Well, table's open. Now, 2,200 player has got to fancy his chances here. He's going to leave himself a distant shot in the 4, but he should be able to drop onto the bottom rail for this 5. He's just dead weight shot to roll the 4 in. He played a little drag shot there, and that's why he's missed it. He spun the cue ball out of line and hung the 4 ball up. And this could be a gift for DJ Redo. The only problem he's got is that the 6 ball is blocked to the pocket by the 7. So this isn't over yet, this rack. And there's Larry. Has come through 7-2 against WizKid. Meanwhile, DJ Redo just has to run this 6 ball in down the rail. And it's now 4-2. This is a tough 2-ball if he's going for it. Well, I think he had a blast at the 2 onto the 6, hoping for a fluke. So, Wink at Me's got a shot in the 2. Well, he's quite content to leave a distant shot in the 3-ball. Well, whatever you do in this situation, you don't hook yourself behind the 8 or the 6. And that creates the problem, is getting that accurate position. And I think he's just got it. Or has he? I think he has. You can just see enough of that 5 to squeeze it in, maybe even a little bit of bend. Well, I don't know why he's digging out the jump cue, because you just put a little bit of bend on it, you can pot that 5. Well, he's used the jump stick. He's got on the 6. And this will be DJ Redo's money ball going into the hole. The yawns have started early, half an hour early. They usually start about 9:30. So Wink at Me, barring this 9-ball, is going to be trailing by just the 1. And breaking off in rack number 8. No, aye, that's what I meant to check. That Baker Maker match, what the hell's happening in it? It's still 4-3. Right. Let's just leave this room here, see if somebody's fixing this tournament match. Let's have a look. Baker Maker and Preacher. Alright, well, Preacher isn't here by the look of it. Oh, right, he's back in the lobby. Let's see what he says. You can get this, because if this match is hanging up, then the tournament won't move on until this match is resolved. Well, if the admin's not doing anything about it, then the room will close and one player will forfeit. Right, what were we watching? We were watching that DJ Redo match, weren't we? So it's 5-3 to DJ Redo. Well, this is a bit straight. He's just going to have to roll it and try and... He's gone actually too far for comfort again on this 6 ball. And he's left himself way short on the 7. It's going to be a thin cut. That cue ball should have been out into the table another 1.5 feet. Well, this is simple enough to drop the 8 in and get the cue ball back across. So wink at me. Just going to be trailing by the 1. We'll need to keep our eye on that that tournament bracket to see if that match does come through as a result. Something's broken in the room. Well, I don't know what's wrong with the room, but when I tried to join the room, it wouldn't let me in it. And these two players have been trying to play their match for, well, for over an hour by the looks of it. Around about an hour. And the match result hasn't come through. The one player, Baker Maker, was in the room and then he's finally left the room, got fed up waiting. I don't think the super admin is responding to any requests from them. Well, there's another result through. Bedhead's beaten Capo by 7 racks to 4, so you can beat the 5 and out handicap. That's a good result. Let's check the bracket, and that match is still hanging there. Well, Baker Maker's now through. That result must have come through, or the super admin has. He's forfeited Preacher, or the tournament's forfeited Preacher, but I never saw that in the chat. Oh, aye, there it is there. Aye. I must have missed it. Oops, wrong one. Where the hell are we now? I've lost track of where we are. Where's this bracket? And DJ Redo rolls a 6 in, his money ball, and he's now sitting on the hill, needing just one more. Well, he's come up dry. Where's the cue ball going? Well, wink at me's going to jump that. I don't even think he needs to jump it. No, you can see the, surely can see the edge of that one. Why is he jumping? He didn't even do that. He could have, again, he could have just a little bit of swerve. He'd have potted that one. A lot of time players resort to the jump cue when they don't really need to. Well, it could be a 4-9 combo coming up at some point. And DJ Reader's underhit that. This cue ball's going to be running. And that's finished perfect. That was a well-judged shot. So now he's got the perfect angle He can try and get in the short side of the 4. I think that was a bit ambitious going forward. He had the angle to draw up the table. Why he didn't play that, goodness knows. But he's on the short side of the 4. He can actually cut this. Oh dear. Well, that I never saw that coming. Played the old slam dunk cannon onto the 9, and it's match over. DJ Redo wins the match by 7 racks to 4. So the tournament's back on track. Let's have a look at the bracket now and see how that shapes up. Right, we've got Larry about to play DJ Redo, and DJ Redo's getting 6 and out. And Bedhead is waiting on the result between Popman and Baker Maker. And Baker Maker is 1-0 up. Popman is getting... What's he getting? Is that the 5 ball he's getting? And over on the 1 loss side, well, Bill is going to be playing Capo, and Capo getting 5 and out, so we're going to have to see how Bill copes with that one in a race to 4. And Bill's on the 8 ball, so it looks as if he's going to win the first rack. Well, that 9 ball, I mean, Capo can play the 1 ball and try the... Well, he actually played it before he even get the lines out there. He tried the billiard onto the 9. And Bill just has to play his game. Just pot the balls. Because once you start doing that, it doesn't matter what the opponent's getting for a handicap. There's nothing they can do when they're not at the table. Bill's just got to clear them. But with 5 and out, you know once you get to the 5 and out stage, you cannot make a mistake. There's just no margin for error at all for these players when they're given 5 and out. It's a little delicate one in the 6 ball, little draw out into the table. And whatever you do, don't hook yourself behind the 9. Get plenty of room over on the right hand side of the table to get to the 8. So, Bill, 2-0 up. Short race to 4, remember, on the 1 loss side. A couple of balls have gone in. Cue balls more or less in the middle of the table. And he's got a shot in the 1. So we've lost the 2 and the 3. And Bill should be looking at being out again here. Now this is the little fiddly one, because he can't avoid hitting the 9. He just needs the kiss to be right off the 9. And it's gone wrong. It has gone wrong. And all he can do is thin that 5, try and tuck it behind the 7. And that's the way to do it. So Capo will have a bang at this. And he scratched. That's well played. He can just roll, because he's dead straight, so he can just roll through. But the tricky shot is getting from the 8 to the 9. I keep pointing this out every week. When you see the 9 there, it's very easy to drop the cue ball there or there and finish the wrong side of the 9, or finish here. You've got to finish sort of up there or there if you can. And Bill's, well, that nudge in the jaw there hasn't helped him a great deal. That's made it a little bit awkward. But that's roughly where you want to finish. And in goes the 9, and it's 3-0. Well, nothing down. The old blast by Capo. And wouldn't you know it, he's got a lucky hook. And Bill needs to watch, because we've got a 3-9 combo sitting there. And he needs to get to a rail, and he hasn't got there. Well, there could be a 1-7 combo here coming up with ball in hand, provided Capo's awake enough to know that he has ball in hand, which he didn't, and he scratched again. And it looks like it's going to be a 3-9 combo for Bill. He just needs to get right onto the rail if he can. Roll through on this too. Bill won't be hanging about. That's the shot he's going to be playing. And that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. It should be an easy 3-9 combo. There we go. So Bill wins the match 4-0. And Capo is going to have to try again next week. Right, so we've got another couple of results through. And we'll see that Bedhead is now going to be playing the winner of Popman and Baker Maker, and Baker Maker is 3-1 up against Popman. Popman getting a 5 ball, so he's not making that handicap any use to him at the moment. And on the one lost side, well, Wizard Cheat is playing Wink at Me, and Wink at Me has got his work cut out, because he's given 6 and out, and that score's offline there. That score should be in there, should it not? It looks like 1-1 at the moment in that match. So what we're going to do is we are going to drop into the Popman match and see if he can dig himself out a bit of a hole here. Baker Maker, a 2,200 rated player. He's gone. I think he was trying to play that into the middle, but he's gone too far, or he hasn't gone far enough. One of the two. He's got the weight of that good. So that's 9 for 3-1 up. Sorry, 4-1. Well, the 1 ball's gone in, the 2 ball going very close to the corner pocket, and I think he's behind the point of that cushion, so he's just gonna have to push. And he's potted the the 7 and the 8. Excuse me again. Well, it's going to be a 5-6 combo. It won't be a 5-6 combo. And And I don't think Potman's got away with it either. I think this rack's over. Provided Baker Maker can cut the 2, he'll be on the 3. We've got a bit of a mess here. Balls aren't sitting pretty in this rack. Well, the one thing you have to be doing when you're trailing 5-1 is you need to keep things tight and you need to get your safeties. Well, Baker Maker didn't get the 1 there. It wasn't easy, but he was left a sight on it. And this time, though, Potman's the one with the problem to deal with, because he's got no shot in the 1, hooked on it and looking for the kick. How's his luck? Well, there's a possible 1-8 combo. You're going to have to make it, though. It wasn't set. He's got away with that one also. Well, Potman going to bash the 1 onto the 2 and try and make the 2-5 combo here. Well, 1-2-5. Might as well try it. Well, this time he's managed to get the cover. But he's back in trouble. A kick safe there from Baker Maker. Now Potman, I think he can jump and hit the 1, and he might billiard the 3 ball in. If he gets it right. If he hits that 1 there with the cue ball, could hit the 3 and knock it into the pocket. Oh, he didn't get it right. So, ball in hand for Baker Maker, and it could be a 1-9 combo. And in it goes. So, Potman, well, I don't think he's getting a sniff at this 5-ball handicap that he's getting. But he desperately needs something to happen. Baker Maker's potted a ball off the break. The 8 ball's gone. He's got a 1-6 combo coming up. No, he's decided to try the bank. Well, how's that gone? It's gone safe. Well, there's a scratch. The mistake's been made. And, well, this is the chance that Potman needs, but he has to take it. Now, has he forgotten about the 2-ball? I think he has. And Baker Maker's doing him a favour there, trying to tell him to stop. But he's not reading the chat. And quite rightly, Baker Maker takes the ball in hand. Well, the one thing you do with ball in hand is you look at all the balls on the table, because the first thing you have to do is plot your way out. And Potman, I don't think, did that, and clearly he didn't, because he never saw the 2-ball. And so Baker Maker can only do the right thing. Try to tell him in the chat. And, well, Potman didn't see it, he didn't read it. Well, he wasn't too late, he actually told him before he played it. And Baker Maker just needs a nice little cut down the rail to win this match 7-1. So, Baker Maker beats Potman 7 racks to 1. Right, so where exactly are we now? Well, we've got Larry playing DJ Redo, and we've got Bedhead about to play Baker Maker. That should be a good match. So I think first of all we'll nip into the Larry match. And DJ Redo is getting 6 and out, and that's a fairly good handicap for a 1900 rated player. Larry playing the bank on the 4, didn't get the nice kiss in the 5. Well, he can bank this back across if he wants, and he should be on the 6. Reverse bank into the top right hand corner. And it went to the rail first, and has he left it on? Yes, he has. Well, it's a bit fiddly, I think. But if DJ Redo can get the cut in the 5, he's got to be on the 6 ball. And he only needs a 6 ball for the rack. And it goes, and in goes the 6 in a second or two, and we are all square at 3 racks all. And Larry got that reverse bank wrong, banked it into the short rail too soon, and it stayed out. And what's more, he left DJ Redo a chance. 9 balls gone in, it'll be respotted. The 1 ball followed it. More importantly though, DJ Redo's got a shot in the 2 and should be able to go on the 3. I think he ended up a bit straight in that 2, but he's still got a pot. But he's going to have to work to get the 4. That 4 ball, well, that 4 ball does go into the corner, but you've got to get right behind it to be able to play that shot. He's looking at it, but is he playing more the combo? He might be, I don't know. We'll soon find out. But the 4 does go. It does go in off the jaw, but it's very tight. Oh dear, there we go. That's the yawn starting now. The old brain's shutting down. And that's the problem with playing the combo. You don't know exactly. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I forgot he only needed the 7 ball. I'm forgetting about his handicap again. The brain's in shutdown mode, folks. Oh dear, scratch. Cue ball kicked in by the 3. Well, here's a chance Larry's been waiting on. He's got a problem straight away. This 4 ball's a bit awkward as well. So Larry, ball in hand on the 1 ball. So getting the 1 and the 3 aren't going to be a problem. Now, is he going to play this really delicately and try and finish there in that gap? That is an awful lot to ask to do that. That is far too much to ask. Let's see how he manages to get this. Well, he's tried to nudge his way through, and he's got a shot in the 4. A dead straight shot into that bottom pocket, or the top pocket as we look. Is it going to the jaw? Oh, it just squeezed in. Now, of course, we've now, once Larry pots this 5 ball, we're now down to all the money balls for DJ Redo, so Larry can't miss. They've all got to go. Well, that is a bit of a problem again. He's right on the rail and you can't get to the cue ball. And he's just got to run that 7 in and leave this 8 long, I think. He can't really try and do an awful lot with the cue ball. Doesn't want to get over ambitious here, Larry. Well, he's ran it. He's taken the chance. And he's got on the 8. And he's got the angle. Well, that was a good shot. Got to get on the 9 now. And get onto that top rail if you can. Now, anything but a scratch. Oh dear. Well, that's a disaster. That's the only thing that could go wrong. Is letting it run and scratching. And that's a gift for DJ Redo. And it's 5-3. So Larry's now got his back against the wall. And DJ Redo breaks off in rack number 10. Rack number 9. And the 2 ball and the 5 have gone. And he's got a shot in the 1. And this match looks as if it's taking a turn for the worse for Larry here. Because this 6 and out handicap for a 1900 odd player is fairly generous. Wizard Cheat has beaten Wink at Me by 4 racks to 3. So that's another strong player gone. Oh dear. There's a mistake. And Larry's going to have to come off the rail. And it's the only way he can make the angle. He's going to have to go there, hit the 3, and get the cue ball down. Well, he's went square. Has he got there? That's a great shot. Lots of spin. It's the same as the last rack, though. He just cannot make a mistake. Scratched in the last rack to get onto the 9. And he's running too hard. Now, I know what I'd be doing. I'd be playing the safety, but Larry's probably looking at the bank, and this is an all or nothing shot. And it's not going to get there, and he's hanging it up, and it's another gift for DJ Redo. All of a sudden, this match just turned right on its head in these last couple of racks, and DJ Redo sinks the 6 ball, and he's 6-3 up. So certainly 3 of the strongest players in the tournament are all struggling, or they've already lost to heavy money ball handicap players. And a dry break there for DJ Redo. Larry misses the one. He's left it on. DJ Redo is hampered by the 4 ball. What's more, he's got to do a lot to get onto the 2. Now it could be a 2-9 combo if by some miracle he gets the cue ball up the left hand side of the table. Was it spinning out? Oh, I thought it was going to spin out behind. Well, let's have a look from this end. Well, he's got an easy safety. He can just punch that 2 ball up the table and try and tuck the cue ball behind the 9. And that will do it. And Larry, I think, is going to have to jump onto the end rail. Unless he wants to jump that way and try and cut the 2 in, or he can jump that way and come in behind the 2. And that's a good shot. But has he got on the 3? I think he's gone too far. Has he? No, he's got it. And those 2 balls, the 9 and the 7 ball up there, they're just a hindrance. Larry's got to avoid them, and that's why he's left it long. Taking far too much of a risk if you try and go up the top end on the left hand side to hook yourself behind in the 7 and the 9. And he's going to have to play a long 6 ball as well here. And the cue ball's going to be moving to get onto that 7. Oh, he's got straight, so it's a draw. Draw back as far as the middle pocket, that would be ideal. And he's got there. Now, how's the angle? He's got an angle there. I think he can avoid the 9 and he can go around the corner with the cue ball on the follow through. Oh dear. Oh, Larry. Well, I think he decided to play that with a lot of right hand English. He put far too much on it and he's missed the 7 and the match is over. Well, there was too many mistakes happening at the wrong time there for Larry. So he now finds himself over on the 1-loss side. And you just can't afford to make them at the money ball end of the rack. You're going to get punished too heavily. So Larry's moved across. Mr. Bill is waiting on the winner of the Censored Popman match, and Censored's up 2-0. And he's getting the 8 ball against Popman. WizKid is playing Wizard Cheat. They're about to start, or they're in their first rack. It's 0-0. And on this side, we've got a match going on with Baker Maker and Bedhead. And we're going to look at that one. I'm going to have to click this mic to have a good cough. Right, we have Baker Maker getting the 8 ball, who has just missed the 3, and Bedhead has a chance to widen the gap here. Oh dear, that's probably the worst place you could finish. He's right over the top of that 7 ball, and this This makes this 6 ball so difficult just to pick the potting angle when you're aiming down on it. Oh, he's played that well. Did he play that with his jump cue there? Maybe I was imagining things. But anyway, in went the 6. And he's got a nice angle to come off the rail over to the right side. And he's played that perfect as well. Oh, bedhead, 4-1 up. Breaking open rack number 6. 3 balls, 1 ball that certainly went in. And what else went in? The 6 ball. And it's going to be a 1-7 combo. Unless he wants to try and squeeze that one in off the rail in the 7, but it doesn't look as if it goes, does it? Oh yes, it does. Well, no prizes for guessing what's going to happen when he gets to the 4 ball, because he's got to play the 5-9 combo. Well, that was a strange one, because all he's done there is opened up the 5-9. And Baker Maker, well, you've got to take any chances you get. Bad missing the 2, there's the result through from the 1 lost side. Censored beating Potman by 4 racks to 1. And back in this match, Bedhead pots the 2. Got a straight in shot in the 4. He's left an awkward one in the 5. And it's going to be a long, thin one on the 7. So this 9 ball for a 5-1 lead. Well, we lost the 5 and the 6 ball in the break. And don't tell me you can see that one. No, you can't. Push out. Being called. Well, a chance here for Baker Maker to play the safety. He can bank the 1 up the table, try and get the cue ball in here. And that's what he's done. And unfortunately though, he hasn't again got tight enough. And that's going to be an easy jump for Bedhead. And a pot in the 1, and he should be on the 2 if this cue ball doesn't run too far. Oh dear. Well, that's the only place he didn't want it to run. Tucked himself right behind the 8. Where's the cue ball going? Well, Baker Maker's not going to get a better chance than this. The scratch by Bedhead. And ball in hand for Baker Maker. He should be out here. Just stop the cue ball directly where the 7 is right now. Pot the 7 and stun the cue ball dead. Well, he's decided to let it run. He could have just killed that stone dead for a straight 8 into the middle. In it goes. That's his money ball. And he's got one back. So Baker Maker breaks off in rack number 8. Trailing 5-2. And coming up dry. Oh dear. Well, we've got 45 minutes left before we have to pull the plug, folks. He's going a bit square in the 2, but he can still pot it, and he's got the nice angle to go up for the 3. But if Bedhead's going to do anything in this rack, he's going to have to worry about that 7 ball next to the 9. Well, he's missed a 2, he's nudged the 9 and the 7, but he's not really changed anything. I don't think that could have finished any more awkward. It's a very thin cut and the 3's left. Cue ball running all over the place. Oh dear. Well, Baker Maker not getting any luck with the balls there. Cue ball scratching. And this time, Bedhead, he can pot the 5 and he can split that 9 and 7 and hold for the 6. Well, that could have finished better. He's left himself a long distance shot in the 6. Up past that 7. He could even play the bank if he wants. Well, if he played the pot there, he was miles off it. That's a good cut. Good shot. And he's on the 7. Now, whatever you do, don't scratch with the cue ball here when you let it run. So, that's another one back. 5-3 to Bedhead. He's found the gap. That was well played. Wasn't a great margin of error there between the 5 and 6. With this 2 ball, he can stun past the 4 and the 9. He's leaving himself long distance in the 3. Now, I wonder if he's got enough room to actually pot the 3 and bring the cue ball back that way without hitting the 8. And that's a good shot. Played that one well. Well, this is where you've got to be careful, because if you run off that 9, there's a danger of scratching here, and he just caught it very thin. I think he knew the risk was there. No, it's not an easy 5 either. I presume Bedhead played to hold for the 6 there, and he was way off for the 5. And remember, Bakermaker's getting the 8 ball, so this is anybody's rack. Good shot. But he's didn't get much luck with the kiss there. He's finished right in no man's land on this 6 ball. He's going to need another good shot. And he's overcut it. And Bakermaker has a lifeline in this rack. Can he get on the 7? Well, he's chancing his arm there, but he's got on it. He's got the long straight 7, and you've got to make sure that Q-tip's central on that ball, because you can hit them into the jaws and hang them up. So this for another rack back, and it's only 5-4 now. Two ball goes into the left middle. Well, what does he do here? Tried to cut the 6 in. Didn't get there. Well, the 4 ball is not easy to get onto where this 3 ball is. This will be a good shot. If you look up at this top end, if he runs up this side of the table, he's got to find that gap there to get on the 4. Or if he finishes here, he's going to leave a thin cut in the 4. So let's see what he does. Well, he's trying to find the gap. And he's got there. That's a very good shot. And now it should be easy enough to come off there and out for the 5. Oh, has he got there? Has he played it? No, he hasn't. And a waggle of the cue in frustration there. He actually did the hard bit, getting into that gap in the first place. Well, he's played the jump, but you're always going to be bouncing about all over the place at that distance. So Baker Maker can tie the match up here. Just needs the 8 ball. So we've got a game on. I'm now into my reserve bottle of water. Oh dear, well now we've got something interesting happening, because that 8 ball, we can see where it is, right over that corner pocket, and that's just waiting to be nudged in, and Bedhead has to be careful. He has to watch where he's putting the ball on. So he's got rid of the one. Now, what does he do about the 4? Because the 9's blocking the pocket. Well, he's made his mind up straight away. He's got the 4-9 combo in mind. Well, the two of them look set, but there's a good 7 or 8 inches between the two of them. And played that well. So Bedhead snatches the lead again. He's now leading 6-5 in the race to 7. 9 ball is one of the balls that goes in. It's going to get spotted. And the other ball that went in was the 5. And there's a gap there. That'll go in no problem. The 1 ball. Look at the size of that guy there, and that. Hopefully, that's not a self-portrait that he's got as his avatar in the game. That guy's about 700 pounds in weight, as the Americans would say. We would say about 50 or 60 stone. He's a bit big. And Wizard Cheat has been beaten by 4 racks to 2 by WizKid. And meanwhile, Bedhead at the table. There's another result. Bill still battling his way through the 1 loss side. He's beaten Censored in a final rack decider. 4 racks to 3. And Bedhead at the table. And it all hinges on getting on the 8 ball. Well, the simple way to do it is to pot the 7 and get the cue ball out to there. Pot the 8, bring the cue ball round there and out for the 9 into the same pocket. Let's see what he's done here. Well, he's going to go the other way. It's going to be a bit of top and left. Well, it looks as if he's playing right. Does he want? He still want to come up this side. Right, let's see what the hell he's done here. Well, he's got the 9 into the middle. And it goes in off the jaw. And so Bedhead beats Baker Maker by 7 racks to 5. And we're now at 10 o'clock my time. Half an hour to go. So we've got a little flurry of results come through there. So we'll have a look at the bracket and see how things are shaping up. And, well, Larry is now playing Mr. Bill. So that's the match we're going to watch on the 1 loss side. We've got that result from Bedhead coming through. He's now going to play DJ Redo, and DJ Redo's getting 7 and out, but we're going to jump across to this match between Larry and Bill on the one loss side, and Bill is player 1 in the HUD, and we can see that he's getting the 7 ball as his extra money ball. Well, this does look all too easy a table. It's all about getting from the 8 to the 9. Oh, that thought about it. It's gone in though. Now he's a bit straight on this 6. And he needs to get that cue ball off the rail to be able to get a decent shot on this 7 ball. Can't leave it stone dead in the rail. He's got away a little bit, but that's where the problems start, because he's not going to be ideal for this 8 ball. He's going to be playing it at distance, and he's got to get that cue ball all the way back for the 9. So he can either go forward, or he can cue ball off there and back that way for the 9. Or he could go forward that way with the cue ball for the 9. So he's gone back the way, he's following the line, but he's not getting there. He's way short. Now what do you do, Larry? Try and just thin the edge of the 9. I think the 9 ball's on the rail, so it's not a good bank. He's playing the reverse bank, is he? Down into this bottom right. That's an excellent shot. Well worked out. And Larry snatches the first rack. So that 9 ball must have been off the rail very slightly. Well, that 7 ball's finished near the bottom right hand corner pocket. And that is Mr. Bill's money ball, remember. And Bill's got himself a bit in no man's land on the 2, but he can draw back onto the 3, no problem. He's just got to get the 2 in. Let's have a look at the 4 ball. The 4 ball goes past the 8. And you can get to the 6 on the rail. You know, this shot, you've got to pot the 5 and get that cue ball over and beyond the 8, and he's played that well. Now the silly thing to do here would be to try and stun the cue ball and draw into the 8, and he's avoided the 8. So this for the rack. And very quickly. We're all square now. Again, just to remind you, it's only a race to 4 on the one lost side. That's going to scratch. So Larry, ball in hand, and look at the spread of these balls. He's got to fancy taking this out. One ball in the middle of the table. Maybe a little draw off that one. Off the one beyond the 8. Between the 8 and the 4, that is. And Larry taking his time and making sure he's getting things right for the run out. Well, he's rolled through. Now he's got to find this gap. So he's played between the 8 and the 4. He could have played between the 8 and the 7. So now he's got the long one into the bottom right hand corner pocket. And this is one, he's got plenty of room round past that 9 if he wants to let the cue ball run that way. Well, he's coming back to the left. So it should be a simple enough roll in the 6. You can either stop the cue ball or let it run through, come off the bottom rail and come back up with a 7 into the right middle. Well, he's possibly going to take that long now as well. So Larry looking like it's going to be 2-1. Right, the 2 and the 4 ball have gone. Now, I don't know whether they can see enough of that one to actually pot it. Let's see. Yes, he can. I think he can just see enough of it. And he split the 5 and the 8. But he's going to need another good shot in the 3 here to get onto this 5. This 5 is in a really awkward place. That 8 ball just gets into your head when you're trying to play position in the 5. So Larry has played a good shot, found a spot on the 5, but he's got the wrong angle, so the cue ball is going to be moving again. Got to go up and around the table and back down for this 6. Oh dear. Well, At least he didn't scratch, but he's got a thin edge in this 6, and if he plays it right, he should get it safe. The cue ball needs to run, it needs to keep going, and that will do it. But now, is there a possible bank on there? I think there is. Oh, he's played it perfect. And he's on the 7. So, Bill ties the match up. 2 racks all. A couple of balls have gone in. We've lost the 4 and the 6. And Bill is going to have to, well, either kick at the 1 or play a long jump shot over that 5. That's what he's going for. Tried to get the edge of the 1. Didn't get there, but he's left it safe. Now is Larry trying to thin the edge of this 1 and cut it along the rail? No, we're just going for the safety. And Bill's hampered right over the 9 ball. Banks the 1, and it goes. But he's going to need another good shot here because he can't see the 2. Needing that little bit run of the ball to get on that next ball, and it isn't happening. And he knows if he doesn't get this 2 ball safe here, Larry should be looking to be out. Well, that's actually made the 7 ball easier because it squeezes past the 9 down the left hand rail. There's another result through. And again, it's from the 1 lost side. Baker Maker has beaten WizKid by 4 racks to 2. Well, Larry's got 2 choices what he does here. He can cut the 5 and the cue ball go there with left hand English to come back this way, or he can go that way with a bit of spin and come down and get over there for the 7. So that's his choice. And he's played it with inside English. And he's finished a bit further away, and the other problem is he is pretty damn straight in this 7 ball, and this is going to be a good shot. He's got to hit this with a bit of power. Well, Larry's erring on caution. He's potted the 7, but look at what he's left himself in this 8 ball. This is tough. And he's played that well. He's left himself on the 9. So this for the lead. So Larry now just needing one more and breaking off in rack number 6. Bill trying to hide behind the 3. Played a good one. This should be a good combo. I didn't get that right and he scratched. So now Bill has ball in hand, and this isn't an easy table because that 2 is tucked in behind the 4 and you've got 2 blockers, and he tried to actually nudge into the 2 there, and that's not a 2-6 combo. The 6 is too far off the rail. Now that's a much better safety. Cue ball is tight on the 4 and Larry can only kick at it. Oh, he's missed the edge. Well, you won't get a better chance in this, Bill. You have ball in hand. The table's a lot easier than what it was a few minutes ago. And remember, Bill only needs to get to the 7 ball. And that's a bit lucky. He could have done himself an injury there, getting stuck behind the 4. Oh, I think he's going straight. Let's have a look. Is there an angle there? There's a slight angle. Easy enough to draw back and get on the 6. Well, he's just ran through, but it's 6 1/2 a dozen. He had a big margin there to get on the 6. Maybe didn't he want it quite as far as this though. So a roll in an 8 ball, sorry, the 7, and we're all square in a final rack decider, and it's Bill to break in rack number 7. Well, that 5 ball helped to 2 ball into the pocket, and what's more, Bill's on the 1, but he's dead straight, I think. Well, he can actually play top left English and spin off the rail and get the cue ball up the table. No luck in the kiss there though. Now, I like the shot off the edge of that 3. Oh, Bill, he needed to get it thinner than that because the angle was there to get the cue ball down here by the 7 and the 6. And Larry going for the 3-9 combo for the match. And in it goes, and that was unfortunate. So Larry has beaten Bill by 4 racks to 3. So we're getting to the business end of the tournament. Unfortunately, folks, it's also getting to my bedtime. And Larry is going to be playing Baker Maker in the next match. And if we look, if I can get this bracket to stay in one position without bloody moving all over the place, we'll have a look at this end. We'll see that Bedhead is playing for the hot seat against DJ Redo. DJ Redo getting 7 and out. And Bedhead is currently up by 4 racks to 3 in that match. But we're going to, well, this is going to be our final match, folks. For anybody who might still be watching. But there's really roughly about 10 minutes to go. But I'm going to go in and we're going to watch the Larry and Baker Maker match. In the one loss side, Baker Maker's getting, well, I can't read that. I think it's a 6 ball. He might be getting 8 ball. It's a 6 ball. So this is another race to 4. I think Larry's going to try and... Well, it's not an easy one to kick in because you've just got to find that thin edge in the 1. It's very easy to miss the 1. Well, that double kiss has done him a favour. That's left it nice and safe, unless you can thin it. So just a reminder before I go to bed, folks, you know, my problem with these Friday night 9-ball tournaments, as much as I'd love to stream them all right up to the final, I've got a job to go to in the morning and I've always got to be in bed no later than 10:30. That's my cut-off point because I'm up at 4 AM. And next week I don't have to bother about that because I've got all of next week off. I might even play in Friday night 9-ball next week. I need to get some practice in though. Well, this is a bit of a fiddly one on the 4-ball. It's got to be a little tickle in the 4 just to nudge it in, but he's went for power. And he's got a nice kiss off the 8. Get the cue ball back down for the 5. Don't forget, Baker Maker is getting the 6 ball, so he just needs that 5 and the 6 into the middle. Doesn't need to worry about the 7. And he'll be into the lead. Oh, the 9 ball's gone in. That'll get respotted if it can. Tucked right in behind the 3 and the 6. So Baker Maker stays at the table. He's got the 1. And he's going to have to play a damn good shot in the 2. Now let's look at the position of this 9. Well, that's a combo that can be made, believe it or not. You can actually push the red the other way. Oh, he's flicked to 2. But he could actually play the jump. Now, with this shot, if he hits the 3 that side, it pushes the 3 that way, which then cuts the 9 into the pocket. Let's see if he does it. No, he got it full in the face. And Baker Maker should be in trouble in a second or 2. Larry should just tuck him right behind that 6 and 8. Well, where's the 9 going? Oh dear. Well, that's the worst outcome for Larry. He's not got the cover. And he's left an easy 3-9 combo and it's 2-0. Well, that was a disaster. And Larry doesn't often type much in the chat, but you can see how Larry feels about it. That was a bad break there for Larry. Well, Baker Maker breaks dry, so Larry's got a 1 and a 2. Now, assuming he gets a 1 and a 2, he can get on the 4 from the 3. But he's got to get on this 3 in such a way that he can make it easy to get back for that 4. Well, he could finish here. Cue ball comes here and up to here. He can pot the 3 and drop down behind the 4. Now, has he gone too far? Let's have a look. It's just a bit too far. He's going to have to work into this cue ball, and it's going to be difficult. I don't know whether he can draw into that enough to pot the 3 and still hold for the 4. I think he's going to try and roll it in dead weight. That's what I think he's going to do. Yeah, that's well played. So we've seen that the 4 passes the 9. Now, can he avoid hitting the 9 with the cue ball? No, he can't. Oh, that's a bit of luck. He's got a sight on the 5. And Larry knows that he needs this. He can't afford to miss this. Oh, just wiped his feet. And he's still on track here, but I think he's straight in that 6. No, he's got a slight angle. He can certainly get on the 7. He should be able to get on it without much problem. Big deep draw. Well, he's got 2 choices again, how he gets on to the 8, whatever he's comfortable with. If he just rolls through, he comes off the end railing up. If he finishes short, he's got the 8 into the middle. If he goes long, he's got the 8 into the corner. He could actually come back that way and play the 8 into the middle. So he's got various choices. It's whatever you're comfortable with. So he's gone the first option. And this should be simple enough to drop in behind the 9. Thin cut. Shouldn't be an issue. Keep that top tight to the rail. Oh dear, well, that is another one that's got away there for Larry. And he's now at the point of no return. It's 3-0 to Baker Maker. And that shot that Larry played there, I don't know why he didn't just play it off the rail. He could have potted that 8 ball and the cue ball with a bit of left English come up that way, so he could get closer to the rail rather than playing it from that angle. Because if you don't get the hit on the 9 right, you're going to push it onto the rail and it comes out, and that's exactly what he did. You've just got to get it flush on the 9 to keep it tucked on the rail. And it all came about from that shot on the 8 ball. So as it is, Baker Maker has broke off. He's potted a ball on the break. He's sitting on the 5. He should get the 6, and he shouldn't have any problem with the 7. This match is over. And Larry is going to have to battle again next week. So Baker Maker wins the match by 4 racks to 0. We'll have one final look at the bracket. And we'll see that Baker Maker's just about to move through. And his opponent is going to be the loser of that match between DJ Redo and Bedhead. And Bedhead is currently leading by 5 racks to 4. Well, folks, it's now just nudging on 10:30. And I am going to bid you all a good night. Thanks to those that were watching. And I will see you again soon, sometime next week. So with that, a good night and see you again later.